So today we'll be talking about peace and togetherness in American teens. So after reading Edward Kessler's article, Social Media and the Movement of Ideas, and listening to Jane McGonigal's speech, Gaming Can Make a Better World, I became interested in the quite broad topic of bringing peace through online relations. Taking these sources into consideration, I came to the more narrow question of how can we promote peace and togetherness in American teens today and into the future? Since the young people of today will eventually shape the future of the world, it is more important now than ever to promote peace and togetherness for them each and every day. In order to promote peace and togetherness for American teens, work must be done looking through the cultural and social view of social media, as well as a look at the brighter futures that can be built for teens through in-school education and community organizations. As social media is a major part of many teens' lives today, it can be used to reach a very wide audience, making it an effective tool if used correctly. As stated by Edward Kessler, founder-director of the Wolf Institute, fellow of St. Edmund's College, Cambridge, and a leading thinker in interfaith relations, indeed, religious activists and intellectuals from all faiths and none are establishing their own websites and Facebook pages in order to communicate their own interpretation of their faith and/or ideology. Social media used in this way allows teens to explore and learn about different faiths, promoting peaceful interactions. Peaceful communication and learning in this way encourages teens to take this peaceful knowledge into the real world and incorporate it into their daily lives. Now, some, however, argue that social media contributes more to unpeaceful behavior than peaceful behavior. This brings us back to the idea that social media is in fact a tool, and its impacts depend on the motives of its users. Kessler also states that, for example, a tractor is a tool. As a tool, it can be used to tend fields and haul fruit and vegetables from the field, yet it can also be used to destroy the field and demolish all means to bring food to the hungry. In this sense, social media needs to be used to tend the fields of teen users by watering them with peaceful influence. So, my first solution that I present is to teach students in school more about how to be peaceful in their daily lives. Although this may require additional funding and support from school officials, the incorporation of peace education into school curriculums would greatly increase peaceful interactions between students. As stated by Ian Harris in his article Challenges for Peace Educators at the beginning of the 21st century, peaceful people have knowledge of alternatives to violence, a concern for justice, a willingness to get involved, and an awareness of perspective. With this said, providing teens with these skills would be sure to increase peaceful interactions throughout their everyday lives today and into their futures. But if not taught to teens through in-school education, schools or other organizations could take advantage of social media and use it as a tool to help promote peace to students each and every day. Schools and/or community organizations would be sure to use social media as a helpful tool rather than a destructive tool to teach their followers about ways to be peaceful as well as encourage them from day to day. All people have an impact on today's society, but it is today's teens who will shape the future of our world the most. So it's very important for us to promote a sense of peace and togetherness for these teens so that their future reflects the positivity and peacefulness they are shown. The complex issue of bringing peace to teens in America is not one that will be simply solved, but instead it will be a project over many years to ensure lasting effects on teens today and in their futures.
Okay, so a couple questions for you. How did you select the strategies you used to gather information or conduct research, and were they effective?
Well, I started with my basic thing that I got from the stimulus material, which was just promoting peace through online relations. And as I started to research that, it wasn't quite working out. So I had to broaden it a little bit to not just online, but I guess in the non-online world, so through school and community organizations. And I just kind of reworded different phrases and got a variety of different results from that. After I broadened it, it definitely helped my research a lot.
And then your second piece would be, what advice would you have for other researchers who consider this topic?
I would say definitely don't start as narrow as I did, because there's not a whole lot of research on just social media or just video games from the stimulus material, which was Kessler and McGonigal. but definitely broaden it out. Try to definitely include a lot more on education. And I thought that would definitely be a good solution to include more. I would have researched more into that if I had